Today, we're going to be diving into stories that went, well, viral, except they're from about 800 years ago. We're talking about medieval Japan and a collection of tales packed with demons, magic, spectacular failures, and, believe it or not, some truly unexpected wisdom.
All right, to give you a feel for this, let's just jump right into one of the most famous and, frankly, one of the weirdest stories from the collection. You got to hear this one. So picture this. There's an old man, and he's got this big growth, a wen, on his face. He stumbles upon a group of demons partying in the woods. Now, instead of running for his life, he just joins in, and he dances his heart out. The demons absolutely love it. They think he's the life of the party, so they take his wen as like a deposit to make sure he comes back. And just like that, he goes home, wen free. Of course, his greedy neighbor hears about this, and he decides to try the same thing. But his dancing, it's stiff, it's calculated, it's terrible. The demons are so insulted, they take the first man's wen and slap it right onto him. So he goes home with two of them. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking right now. A story about dancing demons and stolen face lumps? What was that? Well, this very strange little tale is actually our doorway into a truly remarkable piece of world literature. That story comes from a collection called the Uji Shui Monogatari. Think of it as a treasure chest filled with 197 little gems just like that one. And now we're going to unpack what makes this collection so special. So, the name basically means a collection of tales that were picked up around the town of Uji. It was all put together in the early 13th century. But here's the thing. It's not some grand epic about emperors and heroes. No, it's a book about us, about the lovable, the absurd, the greedy, and the foolish nature of just regular people. And the editor who put it all together, we don't even know their name, but you can think of them as a medieval blogger. Seriously, they lived near the capital, they collected all the juiciest gossip, the strangest rumors, and the most epic fails they could find. Sure, they appreciated a good moral story, but they also knew that a tale about a guy getting a second wen from angry demons was just great content. Now, to really get these stories, you have to understand the world they came from, a world that was every bit as chaotic, mysterious, and magical as the tales themselves. These stories were written down during a time of massive upheaval in Japan. For centuries, the country had been ruled by elegant aristocrats who governed through things like poetry and ceremony. But that was ending. A new class of warriors, the samurai, was taking over with brute force. Society was in total flux. The old rules were breaking down, and in that chaos, it felt like absolutely anything could happen. The capital city, Kyoto, was really a place of two halves. By day, it was a busy, bustling city, but at night, with no electricity, it was plunged into pitch-black darkness. And people genuinely believed that demons, ghosts, and all sorts of spirits roamed the streets. In their world, Buddhist saints could fly, clever foxes could disguise themselves as beautiful women, and magic wasn't fantasy. It was just another part of everyday life. So why are we still talking about this 800-year-old collection of stories? Well, it's considered a masterpiece of world literature for a few really key reasons. First off, it's all about ordinary people. The heroes aren't kings and queens. They're gluttonous monks, poor farmers, and stubborn neighbors, and the author looks at all of them with this warm, humorous eye. Second, it's incredibly diverse. One story might be about an emperor, the next about a thief, and the one after that might be about an animal or a legend from India. In this book, everybody's on a level playing field. And finally, the plots are just completely unpredictable. Sometimes the good guy wins, sure, but other times things just go horribly wrong for no good reason. It reflects this simple truth that, you know what, life isn't always fair. Okay, let's look at a couple more of these stories to see how these powerful themes actually play out. This next one is about a famous painter named Yoshi Hyde, whose dedication to his art went to a truly shocking extreme. One day, a fire breaks out and Yoshi Hyde's entire house, with all his money and his precious artwork, goes up in flames. Everyone is panicking, running around, but Yoshi Hyde, he just stands there watching it all burn. And he's smiling. Someone asks if he's gone mad, and he says this. He doesn't see a disaster, he sees the ultimate artistic reference material. And the story respects this almost manic level of professionalism. The message is pretty clear. To truly master something, whether it's painting or anything else, sometimes you have to make incredible sacrifices. For him, perfecting his art was way more important than any of his worldly possessions.
Then you have a story like The Legend of the Straw Millionaire. A poor man prays for help, and a god tells him to hold onto the very first thing he touches when he leaves the temple. Well, he trips and he grabs a single piece of straw. He's disappointed, but he's obedient, so he keeps it. And that one piece of straw, through a wild series of selfless trades and pure luck, eventually gets him a mansion and a fortune.
This story really highlights a powerful Buddhist theme, karma. See, the man didn't scheme or plot his way to the top. He just accepted his fate, acted with a good, honest heart, and was rewarded with the most incredible, unexpected luck. It's that classic idea that good things happen to good people.
So, what does this all have to do with us? Why should we care about 800-year-old gossip and rumors?
I mean, we live in a world that is obsessed with success, with efficiency, with perfection. There's so much pressure to never fail, to never make a mistake. So what can we possibly learn from a book filled with clumsy monks and greedy neighbors? Well, all of these characters are just beautifully imperfect. They mess up, they get embarrassed, they fail spectacularly. But what their stories show us is that life almost never goes according to plan. And those unpredictable moments, the trips and the falls, that's what actually makes life interesting. They teach us a kind of resilience. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In a culture that is so focused on getting everything right, what if we have it all backwards? What if the greatest adventures, the funniest moments, and the very best stories of our lives actually begin at the exact moment things start to go wrong?